Hello everyone, my name is Alfie, and due to Bitcoin's behavior, the past few days have been a bit bearish in the market, but it is starting to look up now, and there's a bigger pattern forming, which I will explain shortly. And with that, altcoins should go up as well, so I will be taking a look at some of the altcoins that I will be entering during the upcoming bull run. Let's start with Bitcoin though. As we can see, the past few days have been in a slight consolidation for Bitcoin, and that is after a bigger correction which happened before, if we zoom out. But if we look at the short term here, at least it might be a bit far stretched, but I believe that this is looking like a head and shoulders pattern. And we can draw that by taking this left shoulder, head, and then the right shoulder. And this means that basically the price will go up with the same distance as from the shoulder length to the head. And then you move that up. So this next target price would be around 58k, which is also a resistance for Bitcoin apparently, as we can see here. Yes, and then in the longer term, if we look at the bigger picture here, I believe we can see another head and shoulders, but a much bigger one, especially when we look at the 4-hour chart here. Let's do that for a second. And then we can see a left shoulder here, the head over here. Then this is the start of the right shoulder, and then this is potentially the bottom of the shoulder, and then all the way to the top again. And we can place this a little bit high. Ideally, this shoulder should be at the same length as the other shoulder, but it can be slightly tilted as well, like this, which means that Bitcoin is in a general ascent here. And if we do the same as we just did on the short term, so we take the length from the shoulders to the head, like this, then we can see that the next target price for Bitcoin in the slightly longer term would be this point, which is 68k, which is a fairly high target price. But we also see here that the price has been descending for a while and a bit bearish in the MACD and on the RSI. And if we zoom out further, we can draw a trend line to further support our idea, which would look similar to this one. Actually, this one is not that representative anymore. Okay, I will delete this now because we have already seen it. And this one, and we can draw a short-term trend line, which would be about here. So we can see there are multiple points touching here. Actually, not too many, I guess. Well, actually, there are some. So this would be a pretty decent trend line. And as we can see, the next target price is 58k. So if we look at that, there might be, it is going up quite rapidly right now. It might reject it once, and then go down a little bit, and then break that. And then the next target price would be the 68k mentioned here, due to the bigger head and shoulders pattern. So during this ascent, which might be a little slow, hopefully, because a slow ascent for Bitcoin is best for altcoins. Altcoins will also start doing much better than the previous days, at least. And we can clearly see this if we take, for example, DENT, which is one of the coins that I will be entering, that I have already entered actually. We see here that before Bitcoin started consolidating a bit, it was following an ascending channel, which I have mentioned in a previous video as well. I talked about it when there was a breakout around this point, and as you can see, there was a pretty big increase. We can see a price difference here of about oh, oops, that's too much, sorry, my bad. I talked about it around here, I think. Can't quite remember actually. Should be around here, maybe a little bit. Yeah, no, okay, I remember. It was around this point. So that's almost a 100% increase from that previous video. And due to Bitcoin consolidating, that rapid increase got stopped. And as we can see here, the CMF, which is the money inflow, has halted a bit and dropped down. And it is on its way back up right now. This might be a smaller dip, which is what I suspect. And the MACDs are about to cross each other as well on the upside, which is also a bullish signal, as well as the RSI increase. So yes, this would be a good midterm hold. The exact target price for this is difficult to see, honestly, but if we look at the hourly chart, it might be a bit far stretched, but I think there is at least a cup and handle pattern forming here as well. So we can draw that out using the curve to here. Move this down, and we do the same over here. This, and as you can see, it kind of looks like a cup with a handle. Yeah, the name speaks for itself. And just like the head and shoulders pattern, we can take the top of the cup to the bottom of the cup in a straight line, and we move this over to the upside. We start by marking this off, and then we have our midterm target price, which would be, let's call this the target price, which would be around 0.2, maybe slightly higher. This is if this cup and handle pattern is confirmed, and ideally we would also like to see a break of this trend line and this resistance over here at the same time, which would mean that the coin would be following something like this, and probably a small retest back to this trend line. Back to the trend line or the resistance, and then all the way up to the next target price. This is the ideal situation. Of course, if we look at Bitcoin again, oops, we can see that it just went up a lot, so it might need some a little consolidation here, so the pattern might be more similar to something like this instead of this line. Sorry for that, but still, I think DENT is a very good buy. I bought this at it's around 0.16 when I saw the breakout of this descending channel over here. Yes. So I was slightly too late because I woke up late, but I bought it around here. And I still think it's a good buy. So I will just keep holding it if Bitcoin performs well. And this is my target price, but what I do most of the time is just move my stop loss along, so I'm always in profit. Yes, another coin I have already entered this HOT. And of course we can see that the pattern is very similar to DENT and Bitcoin actually. Well, not that similar to Bitcoin, but all of the patterns right now are very similar to Bitcoin's behavior, just because all the altcoins follow Bitcoin most of the time. And we could see a breakout over here, but it got rejected and it fell right back, and then it broke out again and then retested this descending channel and went up. So after this confirmed breakout, I entered around here, I believe. So I will mark that as my entry point, which was around here, because I saw a rejection of this this support as well, which is a good sign. And similar to the pattern in DENT, there is a smaller or a larger actually cup and handle pattern forming here as well, similar to this. At least this is what I'm hoping for, of course. It's slightly smaller, but it's still very similar. So if we look at the target price for DENT, that would then be around, gonna mark this off again. The target price would be 0.028. Yes, price. If you are looking for an entry on HOT, I would suggest waiting right now, because it's not too safe to enter a coin in the middle of just before a resistance. So a potential entry would be around here if you see a breakout of this resistance, and if it doesn't break out but it goes down and you see rejection of this support over here, then this would be a good entry. And well, those are similar to the resistances, so just look at these resistances for the exact prices. Another coin that has already pumped a lot in the past few days, and I think will be going on further, is BTT. And exactly the same as with the other coins, there's a cup and handle pattern forming, so I don't really need to explain that anymore. We can just draw this trend line, take some horizontal lines, which would be our entries and our resistances, our bottom, and then we move this up to the upside. We take another line, which again is similar to the resistances, as we can see, and then that marks our entry point. I mean our target price, sorry. So the target price would be around 0.108. But as we can see, the price has already gone a lot higher than this actual target price. And if Bitcoin actually does continue to go towards the next target price, which was 67K, then these coins could potentially, actually, they have a very high chance of breaking their all-time highs. We can also see a short-term trend line over here forming, by the way. If it respects this, then a good entry would be after a breakout of the resistance again. So at this point, and if it doesn't, and it breaks down, and if you see rejection of this support, then this would be a good entry. So we can draw another path then for this. Yes, the path function. One potential path would be around here, and a respect of this trend line. And the other path would be rejection of this trend line, perhaps a retest, rejection, and then an upwards channel. Yeah, so these are the main three coins that I have already actually invested in. These are my midterm holds, so I use margin trading for these. And then there's one more coin, which I would like to mention, which has one of the lowest market caps on Binance. And I called this out on the Discord server some time ago, around this point, because as you can see, the price was extremely stable here. Yeah, so over here we can see that the price was super stable, which is most of the time a very good sign. And if this happens, I'm looking for a breakout, which did happen. So I did enter the price here. I can take an ellipse here. I did enter around this point, and then my target price was 0.1. Just below this actually, because 0.1 is a psychological resistance most of the time, and we can see that actually when we draw a horizontal line here, we can see that there's some rejection and support here. After that, the price actually went up 150%, if I'm correct, maybe more even. So this was a really good entry for me. yeah, 144% from my entry. And as we can see, this coin also consolidated a lot. This is perhaps due to the massive surge it had, but it could also be because of the Bitcoin drop again. It did break out, and what you often see after a breakout is a retest of the trend line, or in this case the resistance here, and then a move upwards. So I did enter this coin after a breakout and a rejection, so I entered around here, and now I am just holding this with spot trading because it is following a very nice upwards channel here, like this, which is, as you can see, a very high increase. But due to this extremely high CMF and RSI spike, it is not the safest entry right now. There are some resistances which we can mark off actually. Right here we can see one, and there's a support around here. So this is might be a good entry zone. We can draw this by taking a rectangle and marking off the zone. So if this trend line breaks, which might actually happen because, as we can see, the MACDs are about to cross each other in a bearish pattern, then hopefully this support zone over here holds, which would mean a potential path of So there are two scenarios. It could go up here, break the all-time high, or it could break down here, below this trend line, perhaps retest this, reject this trend line, go down into this support zone, and then hopefully reject it and go up. So this is a good coin to hold for longer term as well because of the really low market cap. But it is very volatile, so for larger investments it might be risky. This is just an additional tip from me. Let me know if this video was helpful, and I hope you can get some profit out of this, and hopefully Bitcoin stops this correction, which it is doing right now, and starts going towards the 67K, which would be really good for altcoins as well. Thank you for watching. Bye.